You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger.
Kang the Conqueror is making his big screen debut as Marvel's next big bad villain in Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. It's the first superhero flick in what looks to be an action-packed year at the movie theater this year. Here to walk us through all of this, we want to bring in box office guru, founder and editor Gitesh Pandya. Gitesh, great to see you here. So lots of hype heading into this weekend about this brand new movie. How big of a weekend do you think it's going to be for it?
Oh, well, it's easily going to be the #1 movie in North America and the world. A part of that is because there's no competition. Part of that is because it's the biggest movie franchise out there. This is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Every film is huge. This movie is a bit underwhelming. I didn't like it as much as some of the other films. And it's the third time around for Ant-Man, so it's hard to have something new. I think some of the fans will be a little disappointed in that part, but it does bring the action up to a larger level. A lot of green screen, a lot of VFX. You can argue maybe there's too much green screen and VFX in this film, but it is a built-in audience there. They'll come out big time. I think it could break 90 million on the opening weekend. It could possibly break 100 million. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And because in the US it's President's Day on Monday, it has a long 4-day weekend. The Ant-Man brand has good family appeal. So that's good business on Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. So it should definitely break 100 million over 4 days, maybe get to 110, possibly larger than that. Part of the reason is that because of the reviews that are not so great, that might see the grosses subside a little bit. We'll have to see if people come out or even come out a second time to see this movie, which sort of continue this saga.
Yeah, man. Second lowest Marvel review we've ever seen on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 50 right now. That certainly can't help. What other superhero movies can we look forward to this year?
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, Hollywood banks on these superhero films. People complain all the time about how there's too many superhero movies, too many comic book movies. But at the end of the year, when you look at the top grossing films, most of the top 10 has these kinds of movies. This is where people spend their money. So you've got coming up after this Ant-Man film, next month you have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. That is the second movie in that series. This is part of the DC universe of films. Again, Shazam is one of the sort of second-tier characters, kind of like Ant-Man is in Marvel world, not top tier. Then you go to May the 5th. That's the kickoff of the summer movie season. Marvel is back with the MCU. They've got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, another superhero sequel. They're always teasing the end of a franchise and so on. Maybe this is what's happening here with Guardians of the Galaxy. First two were very popular. They were mixed in with the Avengers movies. Now they're back to a solo film. So certainly big grosses on this one. Then we move into June 2nd on the animated side. Sony Pictures has this one. It's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, if you remember the first one, the animated film, it won an Oscar. It was highly acclaimed. This is the sequel after Into the Spider-Verse. It's now Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man is one of the biggest brands globally when it comes to superheroes. This one should be a massive hit in the month of June, I think. Then you go to the middle of June, you've got The Flash. Now, this one had a lot of problems in its production with its lead actor and other issues of delays. Finally, it comes on June 16. This is DC back again. They're putting more of the spotlight onto Batman or multiple Batman. We'll see how the movie turns out. The last Spider-Man film brought the three old Spider-Men together, and that was incredibly popular. This one has some rumors about multiple Batmen from the past coming in. Certainly Michael Keaton is back in this one. We saw the trailer and the Super Bowl commercial. So they're trying to use Batman to sort of help out the Flash, who is not as big of a character. And then you've got on July 28th, towards the second half of summer, The Marvels. We saw Captain Marvel, a massive hit, huge blockbuster a couple of years ago. And then Ms. Marvel, which is the Disney Plus series last year. They joined forces in this one, which is essentially Captain Marvel 2, but with more characters in it. And that continues the MCU. So for Marvel, Ant-Man is really the kickoff to a series of films this year.
Certainly is going to be a huge year potentially for that space for all superhero fans. I know they're very excited what the next 10 months hold. But Gitesh, outside of those types of films, what are you most excited about just in terms of what could actually get those who've been a little bit hesitant to return to the box office and return to the theaters?
Well, you know, the new trailer just came out for John Wick Chapter 4. This is a great action series. I like these action, violent kind of films. Keanu Reeves, not the best actor in the world, but he does a really good job here as John Wick. And the movies have been better and better, and they've been grossing more and more from 1 to 2 to 3. And I'm expecting part 4 to be a solid action movie. It's more global in scale, Japan, Europe, United States. So John Wick is moving around a bit. That one opens on March 24. I think that one's going to be a nice hit at the box office. And then also, if you like horror movies, those have always been perennially successful at the box office in the pandemic, beforehand, even now. And Scream 6 is coming out. This is a movie that is March 10th, just a couple of weeks away. That's a franchise which, if you remember in the 90s, really defined the teen horror slasher genre. It went away. It came back last year with the 5th movie. Now they really quickly greenlit part 6, which is now coming out. It moves all of the terror and the action to New York City and the subway system, which is terrifying to begin with. But this is a horror movie which keeps on going, keeps on being profitable. And I think that this one will certainly be another hit movie, this one for Paramount, next month.
Nice to see a lot of originality when it comes to screenplays in Hollywood these days, isn't it? Gitesh, Pandya, appreciate that. Thanks so much.